What's up, YouTube? This is Evan from Gold Record coming at you live February 2025, 5 years after the first edition of Gold Record Under the Hood. And tonight we're going to look at a song called Big Eyes from an album we cut in 2021 called Desert Soul. And this is one of my favorites for many reasons. So I'm very excited to dig into it with you and show you what we did behind the scenes. Okay, so to start, I'll play just a little bit of footage from a video that we took at the time. This was shot in Joshua Tree at the Gatos Trail studio we were at. I'll tell you more about that in a second, but let's just give it a listen.
You're talking like you'd run this bar here better. The scent of the ink from old love letters lingers like the scars from times you met her. When the chords you borrowed were the only ones she liked. Your new taboos and mistrust. My cat, what is to discuss?
Those drums are nasty. So that's a little bit from Big Eyes. And I chose this song for a couple of reasons. One, it has probably one of the all-time greatest hooks of any Gold Record song. And then two, because there's lots of really fun stuff happening under the hood. So let's break it down piece by piece. And I can talk a little bit about the recording process and how we got here. So I have the raw files up, and I have a couple of different things so we could see how the song progressed and the parts that got added, especially when we did the live studio version. So this song probably originated in late 2020 when we were still in quarantine in the pandemic at that point. Gold Record was really a file sharing process back and forth. And Noah would often come up with really fantastic complete songs, which this is the origin of this song. So I have the original stems here that I could play you.
The scent of the ink from our love letter lingers like the scars from times you met her. When the chords you borrowed were the only ones she liked.
This is the original demo. Much mellower. We got a nice little drum pattern from a sample, and really just this synth and piano part, which was probably a sample, maybe together, maybe separately, and we comped it. It has that really nice melody happening in the instruments, and then a couple of stacks of Noah's vocals.
Like the scars from times you met her. When the chords you borrowed were the only ones she liked.
Just a wall of Noah's.
Like you'd run.
So that was the original demo. The song was pretty much structurally complete before we went in the studio, and an idea that we were very excited about and fixated on was, especially since we'd been doing this as a quarantine project for so long, we really wanted to have an opportunity when we could to get together in person and record with a live band, which was all of our backgrounds. So me, Ryan, and Noah, we found a nice place, September 2021. We found the studio in Joshua Tree called Gatos Trail, which was great because it had the recording studio and an Airbnb that you could rent at the same time. So you were like 20 feet from the recording studio, and you also had somewhere to stay. And Joshua Tree is just a wonderful place. And a big part of this is we got to invite pretty much all our music friends to come out with us and record with us. So we gave them all the charts and the songs. They all thought of parts for it. And we basically came together and would spend the time at night rehearsing in the house acoustically, and then the times during the day recording. So we actually have some of that too. So this is some live, not recorded, but we had just kind of mics set up in the studio while we were rehearsing.
Run this by the scent of the ink from.
So everything's live except for the drum track, acoustic instruments.
Like the scars from times you met her. words you borrowed were the only ones she liked. Like it were to discuss your new taboos and mistrust. My cat were
So the obvious cool addition there is we have Bill and Scott Sanders on the mandolin banjo combo that are recreating that piano part that just make it sound so tight. So as we rehearse this, we would then go in the studio and we would all be recording at once. So we're using, I think, every input of the studio. And we had in one room, Mando and banjo with like a divider and mics on each side. Noah and I were in the main room with him on drums, but also singing instructions and like giving us the vocal reference, and me on bass. Nick Von Kanel, who was playing piano, was also in the main room on headphones on an electric keyboard. And then Ryan was in the other vocal ISO booth doing vocals, saxophone, Mike Fierstad on guitar, also in the main room on headphones. So we're all basically in the same room tracking this, which made for lots of really fun bleed situations. And then we basically did a couple of takes of this, recorded in the studio, and then sat on it for months and forgot everything about it. And then Noah went back in and basically took the best parts of different things and comped it all together into the master track you hear today. So some of the component pieces, we have the original synth sample that kind of got the song started. And we kept that in and kept it going, and then backed it with this banjo track. Which is just the creamy foundation of the song. And then later, if we open up these banjo tracks, we have some chords. I mean, come on. Later in the song, there's this nice part where the Mando and the banjo play together, which I really like. This is on the outro. Then you'll hear the mandolin Scott coming in. I mean, I could listen to this all day, just this. So that was a big, obvious addition to the song that we were really excited about. The other things that we can talk about in here is we got Nick on the keys. So we kept a combo of... That's live piano. For the big chorus notes. Then on a Prophet, we're doing on a verse... different. He had both the keyboards set up at the same time. That gives it some nice texture. And then we also got the acoustic guitars. This verse just killing it. The studio live drums. Big addition to the song. So we wanted this part to really pop. We got some live bass on. So really just reimagining this part more based on the groove, which we really, really like. A little saxophone motif that comes in from time to time lightly. Love all that. So that was really fun and really kind of took new life in the studio. And we ended up with a mix of, we started with the program drums. That's from the original demo and sample. And we switch over to the live drums here. And when Nicholas Vernez mixed this, he did something nasty to these drums. I have no idea what, but it sounds fantastic and we love him for that. So some other cool things happening here. Talked about the keyboards, talked about the bass, got the live drums. There's some unused stuff, which I probably haven't opened in 3 years. Let's see what's in here.
I hear better the scent of the ink from
Oh, that's a harmony, baby. Good job, Mike.
Like the scars from times you met her, when the chords you borrowed were the only ones she liked.
Mike, you're an angel. Some electric guitar that we ended up muting. You can hear the bleed on the electric guitar track. Nice, that's fun. So we ended up not keeping everything, and this is entirely a credit to Noah. I love the let's just turn everything on full blast, and that's the mix. He was much more judicial about the edits and finding things that worked really well together and taking things out, which is not my proclivity. There's a fun track in here that I'll play with everything. The original, when we did the original takes, Noah actually sang and drummed at the same time. And one stupid idea we had originally is maybe we could just have that be the album track, kind of like that What I Like About You song. It didn't end up working, but it's pretty cool. He was just
the scent of the ink from old love letters.
Love those original vocal tracks. So that was cool. Then the other thing, maybe the other thing cool to talk about this is the vocals. So unlike most gold record songs, which oftentimes get mixed as the original demo vocals, because that's a fun thing that we were doing for a long time. This one, we actually saved the end part of the session for Noah to go back in and cut vocal tracks. But we kind of ran out of time, so we did it really quickly. So basically what we did is on the main track, you'll see basically 2 or 3 tracks. He just cut one track end to end, second track double end to end, sometimes a third track double end to end, and then basically did the same thing with the harmony tracks. So this one actually does have recut vocals, which sound really cool.
Oh, Jesus Christ, talking like you'd run this bar here.
Here's the backing
better. The scent of the ink from old love letters lingers like the scars from times you met her. Borrowed were the only ones she liked.
Had a nice clip right there that we forgot to edit out. That's always fun too. So this one was cool because we actually had a little bit of time to go and redo the vocals and got something definitely cooler than what was in the original. But my favorite part about the song is the backing vocal tracks. So that's here.
Run this bar.
Oh, no, the gang vocals. Excuse me, not the backing vocals. What are we thinking? So that comes here at the end of the song. And we have a couple of tracks that we just, let's look at them one at a time.
Talking like you'd run this bar here better. The scent of the ink from old love letters lingers like the scar.
So that was really fun. And the inspiration for this, there's a really famous video of the Eagles, and they're doing like a backstage a cappella, just amazing thing. So we wanted to have some video content come out of this that emulated that. So this is the actual when we're tracking this.
You're talking like you'd run this bar here better. The scent of the ink from old love letters lingers like the scars from times you met her, when the chords you borrowed were the only ones she liked. You're talking like you'd run this bar here.
Harmonies and everything, folks. That was super fun. I'm really glad that that was a thing. And then the really, really fun part that I love even more is in this backing vocals in Joshua Tree 1 and 2. So because we were recording in Joshua Tree, which is one of the all-time greatest places on earth, we spent a lot of time in the park too. So often our day would be structured. We'd start recording at noon, but before at like 9, I would take whoever was up into the park. We would go hike somewhere on one of the trails and sit out in nature, and just kind of set the vibe for the day. And in that, we discovered a lot of really cool stuff because Joshua Tree is amazing and it has all sorts of natural reverb. So we went out. I don't have video of us cutting it because I needed to record it on my camera. But basically, we took the group out into this is Indian Cove, and there's Ryan and I. And basically,
Pause.
we have this nice, like, natural slap reverb. And that led to these 2 tracks. So we have a couple of takes of the whole group who's doing it in the studio, also doing it recorded on an iPad out in Joshua Tree. So that sounds like this. Run this far, better, the scent of the ink from old love letters. So you can hear Noah's snap, which ended in the final copy. Sometimes you matter when the chords you borrowed were the only ones she liked. You're talking like you run this far here better. The scent of the ink from old love letters lingers like the scars from times you met her. So all in all, it's a total mess, but it's a mess in all the best ways. And it combined just something really cool that ended up, especially when we layered it, very fun. So we only got 2 takes of the one in Joshua Tree before my iPad overheated because it was too hot out there. So glad we got those. And although I don't have a video of that, when we were out there, we did some other sessions so you can hear the natural reverb. This is from a different song. And here's Ryan amongst the rocks on Indian Cove. And you can hear just how glorious this sounds.
You could find love any minute. You could kick down any door. You are the fashion of my mind. Hold tight. You could find love any minute.
Creamy.
You could kick down any door. I'm the passion of your mind. Oh, my dear.
And then we pan over, you get to see all the rocks he's reverberating off of. Just what a place. Beautiful. So lots of really fun experiments on top of, a very cool just studio experience. And this was literally, for most of us, the first time we've been out of our houses and seen people in about a year and a half. So to be able to do that in a place like Joshua Tree at a wonderful studio called Gatos Trail, shout out to the Gatos Trail team. We love you guys. With Nick Vernez, who had mixed some stuff for us over quarantine. It just brought together so many parts into the whole and made us very grateful to be able to do the things that we do. So hope you enjoyed this video with a little walkthrough. Hope you can appreciate the song at a little bit deeper level when you hear all these parts. And until next time, love you so much and have a wonderful day.